In most of the ancient world, parchment and papyrus rotted away into dust within a few centuries. But the region surrounding the Dead Sea is hyper-arid. It is a bone-dry, rocky landscape that acts like a natural time capsule for organic material. In 1947, a Bedouin shepherd was wandering this exact terrain. According to the story, one of his sheep had climbed up a steep cliffside, and to scare it back down, he hurled a rock toward the ridge. The lav missed the sheep and sailed into a small, dark cave opening. Instead of a dull thud, the shepherd heard the sharp crash of shattering pottery echoing out of the darkness. He and a friend scaled the cliff to investigate. Inside, they didn't find hidden gold. They found a collection of tall, sealed clay jars, and packed inside those jars were crumbling ancient parchment scrolls. This accidental discovery of deteriorating animal skin and ink would ignite a massive, high-stakes archaeological search that consumed the mid-20th century. To understand why these scrolls mattered, we have to look at a massive historical blind spot. Before 1947, the oldest complete copy of the Hebrew Bible on record was the Masoretic text, the traditional medieval manuscript used as the basis for modern translations. But that text only dated back to around 1000 AD. That left a 1,000-year gap between the original events and the earliest surviving copies. Skeptics argued that 10 centuries of scribes hand-copying documents must have introduced errors, edits, and human corruptions into the scriptures. When the public learned that older texts had been found, the media went wild. Tabloids pumped out headlines claiming the scrolls contained modern political prophecies, proof of alien visitations, or suppressed secrets about the origins of Christianity. The jars contained the specific evidence needed to verify the stability of the biblical text over 2,000 years of history. Reading the texts was a grueling forensic puzzle. Archaeologists and linguists had to carefully reassemble roughly 30,000 highly degraded fragments to identify about 900 distinct manuscripts. Among tens of thousands of pieces, scholars recovered one exceptionally well-preserved manuscript, the Great Isaiah Scroll. This 24-foot parchment contains the entire book of Isaiah, transcribed 2,000 years ago. Scholars finally had their test case. They could place this ancient desert manuscript directly against the medieval Masoretic text and measure exactly how much the words had changed over 1,000 years. This visualization shows the results of that comparison. Across 10 centuries of hand-copying by generation after generation of scribes, the two texts are a 95% identical match. Zooming in on the data for the famous chapter of Isaiah 53, it gets even more precise. Out of 166 words, only 17 individual letters differ between the ancient and medieval versions. And almost all of those are simply minor variations in spelling. Instead of proving that the text had been corrupted, the scrolls demonstrated the extreme, meticulous discipline of the Jewish scribal tradition. But not every scroll in those caves was a book of the Bible. A massive portion of the library consisted of sectarian texts, writings outlining the rules of a specific, isolated community. Popular theories often linked these documents to the earliest days of the Christian movement. The archaeology tells a different story. The authors were a strict, radical Jewish sect, closely resembling a group known historically as the Essenes, who lived in a stone compound situated directly above the cave network. We know exactly how they lived because they wrote it down. Their community rule scroll dictates an intense communal lifestyle. They shared their meals, enforced rigid disciplinary actions for minor infractions, like speaking out of turn, and followed obsessive purity laws. They also engaged in highly esoteric practices. They crafted amulets to ward off demonic spirits and cast horoscopes to measure the exact ratio of spiritual light versus darkness inside an individual person. They had entirely separated themselves from mainstream Judaism. They were locked in a bitter dispute with the Jerusalem priesthood because the sect insisted on using a 364-day solar calendar, while the temple used lunar calendars. To the desert sect, performing a ritual on the wrong calendar day was a spiritual failure, and they were preparing for violence. Their war scroll is a tactical blueprint for an imminent, bloody battle where they, the children of light, would rise up and utterly destroy the Roman occupiers. This militant, magic-practicing community stockpiling weapons for a holy war stands in stark contrast to the teachings of Jesus. The scrolls reveal a distinct, radical fringe group waiting for doomsday. While the Qumran sect does not mention Jesus, their writings provide the missing cultural blueprint for the exact era that birthed the Christian movement. First-century Judea was a dangerous, boiling pot of fractured, competing religious factions, all chafing under the heavy hand of Roman military occupation. The Qumran community and the early Christians shared a massive apocalyptic anxiety, heavily influenced by prophetic texts like the Book of Daniel. Both groups were absolutely convinced they were living in the final days of history. They simply had entirely different expectations of who would survive the end of the world and how it would actually happen. The Qumran sect predicted their doomsday would arrive 40 years after the death of their leader. That deadline came and went. The math failed, their settlement was eventually abandoned, and their timeline stretched into nothing. In a final, desperate act to preserve their worldview against the encroaching Roman armies, they packed their entire library into clay jars, sealed them up, and vanished into the desert. Today, those texts rest in Jerusalem at the Shrine of the Book, housed beneath a white dome designed to mimic the lid of the clay jars that kept them safe. These manuscripts bridged a 2,000-year gap in history, documenting the precise words, the religious friction, and the apocalyptic seers of an ancient world that had largely vanished.